Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today's video was kind of requested, kind of not, I don't know. Today's video I'm going to be reacting to the Durfest, the Durham confession page. Let me get my computer to display it nicely. What's that? Right, so I'm going to be reacting to the Durham confessions page. Some of them I'll be giving advice if it's someone looking for advice. Some of them I'll just be reacting to confessions. Some of them are weird, so I'm just going to react to it. And yeah, really that's what we're doing today. I hope it's fun. Also, today is 1st of November. Yes, usually I film the same day I post. It's officially Christmas, which is insane. Super excited. If you want to know what I went for as Halloween, I went as a pumpkin. Thanks. First confession. I'm actually getting so pissed off at pre-recorded lectures vastly exceeding the length they're meant to be. It's already hard enough trying to manage my time with everything being online. Sort it out, please. I mean, I'm doing my study abroad this year. My lectures don't start till tomorrow, but I obviously have a job as well, so I'm really scared about lectures running over. Like, that is something that people would exploit. When I did my pre-semester German course, the lecturer there did exploit that a bit. He was like, well, I was half an hour late to the lecture, so it's gonna run on for another half an hour and we're not gonna have a break. I was like, huh? Oh, what? You were half an hour late, not us. Spoke for 30 seconds in a Zoom seminar and my hands haven't stopped shaking for 10 minutes. I feel this. I feel this 100%. Every time in my German thing, they were always asking us stuff, and oh, that's what I didn't like about Zoom lectures, is I go very red in class anyway. I don't like being in class. It's not my scene. So anytime I speak, I go really red. I 100% feel this anytime I spoke in German. I was like, whoo, and I could see myself going red because you can see yourself in the Zoom thing. So it was really awkward. I 100% feel where this is coming from. In fact, it's the same for my job, because when I have to do phone calls, I get really nervous. And the other day, I did a phoned a customer at 4 p.m. At 10 p.m, I was still flustered. I was still shaking. I get it, honey, it's fine. My housemates won't stop mixing households despite me repeatedly asking them to be considerate of my circumstances, and then they're like, should I lighten up, let them meet all the people, or should I move home and ask for classes to be moved online? I think for an option for this, you should have speak to my housemates about it. You shouldn't have to move home just because they're not sticking to the national rules. So yeah, don't lighten up. If you feel unsafe about it, talk about it, and don't feel like you have to be pushed home. If they should respect you. That made me sad. Don't think people realise how difficult it is to push yourself to function normally around your own household. Yeah, so this is about how if you're in a house and someone's quiet, not to ostracise them. This is very true. I think I was very like that in my house. Like, I didn't really leave my room. But yeah, I think that is something people in uni don't realise. Just because someone's quiet doesn't mean they're like a freak. It's just they're probably struggling a bit more, which I think is difficult for people to comprehend, but I guess, I don't know. But then this person's like, to my fellow international buddies, you're not alone. I just want to say to the international people, it's not just the international people that feel this way. There's so many of us that feel this way. So you're definitely not alone. I feel where this is coming from. And yeah, when they're saying my quietness isn't me being rude, that is so true. I get it. I hate the idea of waiting to reply to people's messages. Let's face it, we're all sat on our phones all day anyway. Yes! I hate this. When you message someone, they're active, and they don't reply. It literally does my head in. Everyone does this to me. I think I'm just a hated person, but no one ever replies to me, and it's so annoying. Like, I can see you're active, just reply. It's especially, I'm in the Welsh lockdown, but like most people are in some form of like not being able to do what they want and not being with many friends. So it's really annoying. Like, we've not got that much going on anyway. One message, if I receive one message from someone, it literally makes my day. I always try to reply to messages because it's so crap when people don't. Why wouldn't you reply to someone's message? That's a human being messaging you, so just reply. They're a human, they're asking you something, they're asking how you are, or things like that. We've not got much to live for in the first place. You could at least message me back. Why do middle-aged men feel the need to catcall students stood at bus stops in Gilesgate? The only times I've felt uncomfortable in Durham are because of the creepy or rude locals, and they complain about us. So I'm not putting all locals into a bubble. Most of the locals I'm sure are lovely, but I 100% see where this person is coming from. I've also been catcalled. It wasn't really catcalling for me, but I had like an awkward altercation with the locals last year as well, also in Gilesgate. But these like locals were basically insinuating I was a prostitute and asking what my price was, which is really uncomfortable and really upsetting. So I 100% see where this person is coming from, and I do get it. Sometimes I do think, I'm not putting the locals into a bubble, most of the locals are lovely, but sometimes I do think the locals can be, the like middle-aged men locals can be really rude to students. I've seen it a lot. It's happened to me, it's obviously happened to this person as well. It's usually on a Saturday night because that's like when they go on nights out, when they've usually had a bit much to drink. They can be quite disrespectful, which, don't get me wrong, I guess students can be disrespectful as well, although I always try not to be. But yeah, like when you've got like a 50-year-old man asking you for your price, yeah, it's really not nice. And all the comments on this were, how do you know it's a local? Well, A, they've got the Durham accent and they're in their 50s, so they're unlikely to be a Durham student, and it was locals night and they were out. So I have nothing against the locals, but I do get where this person is coming from. Spent every evening since coming back to uni debating whether I can be bothered to walk to Tesco to get 20p donuts after 7. Tonight might be the night. Go for it. Get them 20p donuts. Oh, this one's about being scared when you go into a breakout room. Yeah, I hate breakout rooms as well. It's terrible. Online lectures can be annoying, but I'm just glad it's meant that English lit students have stopped clapping after every lecture. Yeah, I heard about the English people clapping after lectures, but actually one of my German teachers was like making us put the clapping emoji onto Zoom at the end, so I guess I never really escaped that. I can't believe my college children didn't get in touch with me. I was so excited to be a parent, you snakes. I think you're a snake, actually. I'm going to be honest with this one. They are brand new freshers in a brand new university, probably terrified to their wits' end, really socially awkward, as all freshers are. It's your duty as their parent to get in touch with them. Why would they go up to a second year and just be like, hi? Like, you should make the first move. That's ridiculous. That actually really annoyed me seeing that. Obviously, they've not got in touch with you first. That's your job. People wearing their school graduation jumpers, you are cringe. You're in university now, grow up. Ugh, this really frustrated me. School graduation jumpers are £30 at least. So of course you're going to wear it. Why would you spend £30 on a jumper and never wear it? Secondly, we're in university, yeah, that's why we've got the school graduation jumpers. We couldn't be anywhere else. You don't get the jumper until you leave school. So what, you can only wear it in the summer between leaving school and university? Obviously, you're still going to wear it. This really annoyed me. And then people were commenting, imagine actually buying one. Well, like when you're in school, everybody buys one. So you'd be really left out. Like everyone does send pictures with all wearing the same thing. You'd be really left out. So I really felt this comment was full of judgment and I hated it. I kept my video on while everyone else had theirs off in a lecture just to assert my dominance like a true alpha male. Great, good for you. In my lectures, we're not allowed to switch our cameras off. So looks like we're all alpha males in Germany. Hey guys, maybe stop having parties around each other's houses if you want to go home for Christmas. Yes. Yes. 100%. Oh, this comment was so weird. It was about black tie. It was from last year about summer balls. Type of shirt to wear to a black tie event, and being like, just because the man in M&S told you that it's a black tie shirt doesn't mean it is. Let's stick to our heritage and upkeep our traditions. I'm not being funny. If I was a boy and I went to a black tie, I would wear a school shirt. I don't understand what's happening in this comment. I don't understand what shirt you're supposed to be wearing. I don't understand if the wing collar is good, is too good or too low. I don't know, but imagine, like, people might not have the right attire for black tie events and they're just trying to make it work. And I get you want to uphold traditions, but if it's excluding other people who may not be able to afford the traditions, then be done with the tradition. We've had enough of it. I didn't even understand what this comment was trying to say, because if you're honestly trying to be helpful, then put what colour people should be wearing. But should we just not judge people for what they wear? Should we stop being so judgmental? Yes, I think so. I'm a pre-fresh. This was basically any tips of being a BNOC. Don't try to be a BNOC. The people that try to be a BNOC before, because you know, in like the pre-fresh chat, the people in them chats that try to be a BNOC, really, it just never really works out for them. Don't try to, that's weird. Who would want to be a BNOC? They're horrid. Okay, I can't speak on behalf of all BNOCs, but there was this BNOC and he arranged a ball and it was really badly arranged, and they actually, even though I paid for my ticket, they didn't include me in the thing, in the seating arrangement or something. And then he was like, did you buy your ticket? Have you just snuck in here? I was like, you horrid, of course I bought my ticket. I wouldn't just sneak in here. He was really rude, and I don't want to say any more about him because it could be mean, but you don't want to be a BNOC. If that's how they all act, that's the one BNOC I've met, and if that's how they all act, it's not who you want to be. Just gonna clarify, because if you don't go to Durham, you probably think the only BNOC is Jack Edwards. I'm not talking about Jack Edwards. I've never met him. That was someone else. Not a confession, more of a pro tip. If you have dated someone but it ends and they ask you to leave them alone, leave them alone. It can be intimidating. If you've been blocked by them, do not then proceed to email them. Who emails? God. Do not make a new social media. Oh my god, that is harassment. I hadn't read that comment all the way through, but 100%. This is harassment. This is grounds for a restraining order. So 100%, if someone tells you to leave them alone, leave them alone. Confession here, I get in the shower in the morning and simultaneously pee, brush my teeth and wash myself. I'm a girl and I haven't told my housemates all year. Okay, you don't have to tell your housemates your personal habits. Peeing in the shower, I've heard a lot of people do it. I personally, I've tried it, I won't lie, I don't find joy in it. I think it's horrid. Also, I wouldn't brush my teeth in the shower because it's warm water. I presume you're not having cold showers, but you might be. That to me is something I wouldn't do, but I mean each to their own, I guess. I accidentally peed myself on one of the seats in the Billy B. I tried to clean it as best as possible, but it was heavy stream, so definitely seeped in. Hint, stay away from level 1. Ooh, sorry that happened to you. That's really awful. Don't panic about it. I think that someone would have noticed and it would have got professionally sorted. And I'll tell you why I think this. I was once in a cafe revising for my A-levels and I had a packet of jelly babies, and a woman came up to me and she was like, oh, can I have one of your jelly babies? And I was like, okay, sure, here you go. So I gave her a jelly baby, and then just a random woman that came up to me, she seemed friendly, so I gave her one, and then she proceeded to sit down on a sofa in the place and she left, and then they discovered that she'd wet herself on the seat and they just removed the sofa from the cafe. So I think you'll be fine. I think it would have been noticed and sorted. They were quick to notice when she'd done it, so I guess you're fine. I would say, I hope you're doing well. I assume you weren't in the best physical position if you wet yourself on the seat, so I hope you're good. But here's a confession, sometimes I don't brush my teeth before going to bed. Don't tell my mum. If you can honestly say that you've brushed your teeth every single night of your life, you're not being very honest. I don't think there's any shame in this. If it's just a one-off, obviously you don't want to ruin the health of your teeth, but you're not going to be seeing anybody in bed, I would think. Unless you share a bed with someone, then maybe it's common courtesy to brush your teeth. Confession, I spent £50 on Jaeger bombs at Clute and only managed to drink one before throwing up. Why did you throw up after one? You must have been ill because it's not that strong. I'm so confused. And £50, that's a lot. How much are Jaeger bombs included? They 2 for a £5. Okay, let's have a real confession. I went to a pool party and there was a group of guys playing the Wii facing the pool. I was in the pool with a group of friends. I wanted to get out, so I decided to get out using the side because I'm scared of pool ladders. Fair enough. I pulled myself up the side of the pool with my back to the boys and my bikini bottoms caught on the side. I moonied those gamers. Ooh, do you know what? I would stick with the assumption that they weren't looking. If they're gamers, you've referred to them as gamers. If they're gamers, they're probably very focused on the screen. So don't worry about them seeing because they probably didn't. But if they did see, they're probably thinking, oh, what a wonderful moonie to be exposed to. They probably thought it was nice. It's a win-win, really. These things happen. Confession, I think I ruined it with a girl because I farted a couple of times in my sleep. Gosh, that would be my biggest fear. I would be scared of people staying the night in case I farted. I'm sure you didn't ruin it though, because when people fart around me, you know some people fart on purpose, then I'm a bit like, oh, that's a bit, But if someone farted like they couldn't help it, because I'm so scared of doing that, I'd be more in awe of their boldness. So I don't think you ruined it. I'm sure she's fine. She was probably asleep as well. Live life. I once sat next to this boy in class once and he just kept farting and I was like, can you please stop? It was like audible and he was like, I just can't. I thought nothing less of him. I just thought, oh, poor boy. Confession time. Dropped out of uni to focus on my TikTok career. Please no hate, just trying to be famous. That's a bold move. That's a very bold move. Wish you all the best with it. Confession, I've literally never been in the Billy Bay and now I feel like it's too late to start because everyone will see me being lost. Okay, I love the Billy Bay. When I'm in Durham, I spend many a nights there. Favourite nights actually, a late nighter in the Billy B, love it. It's never too late to start. I'm always lost in there anyway. It's so easy to get lost. I went there all the time, but every time I went in I got lost. There's vlog footage of me getting lost several times, so don't worry, everyone gets lost, even seasoned pros, so no one will know. So I know this is a really bad confession, but I went into some Collingwood Fresh's room and pissed on his bed when I was drunk. I hope he's alright. Yeah, I hope he's alright too. I think if I was the Collingwood Fresher, I would be really upset. This kind of happened to me once. It didn't, but I feel like I've been in the same situation as a victim. When I was like 12, I was at lifeguard training or something, and which was in the swimming baths, and you know, swimming bath changing rooms are always rancid, so I put my clothes in the locker, and then when I came back I got my clothes out the locker and I dropped them on the floor, and I dropped them in this pool of what I assumed was water, but it wasn't. So I picked up my clothes and they stank, and I was like, oh my god, I've just dropped my clothes in urine. So I dropped my clothes in someone else's wee. Not sure how I felt about it. So then my friend's mum, because I was obviously just in my swimming stuff, I had to borrow my friend's mum's coat so I could like run to the car and then give her a coat back, and like headed home freezing cold in a towel and a wet swimming costume because my clothes had been dropped in someone else's bodily fluid. So it's very upsetting, it's very traumatizing. So I really feel bad for this guy's bed, because that would have seeped through to the mattress as well, which, as I talked about in a recent video, also brings you a lot of fines if you ruin a mattress. So yeah, I think this was uncool, but at the same time I get that you were drunk and sometimes we do things that we can't really control when we're drunk. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but I feel bad for the victim. Actual confession, I use my house kitchen scissors to trim my pubes and don't wash them after. I included this because I actually think I know who this is, because I was talking to a boy once who told me that he did this. If that boy wasn't joking and that boy is the same boy as this, his housemates know. They already know. So I have a confession. I constantly drop farts in the club and take pleasure when the crowd parts for me, give me more space to dance. You're living the dream. I am too scared to do that. I honestly have a phobia of farting in public, so I admire that, but it is, again, you're forcing it. I just worry about people forcing farts for obvious reasons. My uni friends can't live without me and have called me every day I've been home. I had no idea how important I was to them. I wish this was me. I wish I was in that position. Okay, this one is someone, I don't know if anyone feels like this, but home doesn't feel like home anymore. I don't feel like I belong there. While Durham is great, it isn't home, and by the end of term I long to go home. But 1 week into the holidays I want to go back to Durham. I feel like I'm in limbo. I can't truly call anywhere home. I don't belong anywhere and I don't know what to do. I think this is a really common thing for students. I don't feel at home and I don't feel at home in uni either. When I'm at home I always want to be back in uni, but when I'm in uni I always want to be back at home. I think this is just really common for students. We are in like a mid, like we're not really like fully independent adults, but we're not children, and I lost a lot of my friends at home, so I don't really socialise when I'm at home, and I 100% get what you mean. It's so common to feel this way. I think you just kind of, I don't know when it gets better honestly, but I'm just including it because you're not alone in feeling like that. My lecturer hinted at what might come up in his part of the exam, and in the end something completely unrelated did. I never felt more betrayed. Do you know what? That is a betrayal, but do you want to know what the biggest betrayal I had was? A lecturer literally gave us 10 questions and he was like, 2 of these questions will come up in the exam. You only have to prepare answers for these 10 questions. So that's what I did. I prepared answers for them 10 questions, learnt them all off by heart. None of the questions came up in the exam. They were completely different. That's betrayal. Someone said I get my mom to proofread my essays. Trust me, I think most people do. I wouldn't get my mom because she's not that academic. But sometimes I get my brother to proofread. Oh my god, I was just about to react to a Durfest, but it was actually mine. Oh, nice. I'm not going to react to that because then I'm going to give it away. When should you start writing a 2,000 word summative essay? Over a month before, 3 weeks before, 2 weeks before, 1 week before, anything closer to the deadline. Anything closer to the deadline, 100%. I don't think I ever write a summative more than a week before. I usually start 3 days before and usually get it out in one night. I think that is the way to go, but I guess you know yourself. You shouldn't ask Durfest, everyone is different. When is it acceptable to start listening to Christmas songs? I started 2 weeks ago, so then I guess. I think that's it. I think that's it for the Durham confessions. I think that was fun. I think. Probably wasn't that exciting to watch, probably, I don't know. But I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're all getting ready for Christmas and getting in them cozy feels. I'm now actually going to go get ready for the day because it's 1:15 in the afternoon and I'm still in my pyjamas. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I shall see you in my next video. Bye!